Yeah. Whoops. This is Fumbles and Floaters. We're back again. I'm Blake,
Bobby Buckets.
and we are covering what was it? Week 11. Week 11 in the NFL season. I
Week
don't.
10, week 10, week
Oh,
10,
week
week
10.
10.
Okay. Week 10. We're covering week 10. We're heading into week 11.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
After the thriller last night from Monday Night Football, we had the Nick Foles versus Kirk Cousins. Yeah, man, it's that stuff we dream about. I dreamed about that as a little kid. So we'll talk about that, but let's get started on what was Thursday night football again?
Start the probably one of the best games of the week. Colts Titans
Right.
for the division. Really, I mean, this was a big game for the Colts because, to be honest, coming into it, I thought the Titans were for sure going to win this game and just
Mm-hmm.
take control of the division. And the Colts handled the game. They won the game, and now they're both tied for the division. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top of the division moving forward. Hines had a really good game. Um, the Titans, I mean, they've the last couple weeks they've struggled. I think Derrick Henry hasn't really been able to get going. So, um, yeah, I don't know. The Titans are kind of you just thinking they're about to be legit, and then they like,
No,
lose back to back. Like,
that's exactly it. This was one of the games I think you highlighted as a good one. And the Titans, as good as they are on offense, and I know Derrick Henry had an off game. Their defense, I don't know. It looks kind of shaky. I don't know. Once they get to the playoffs, they're gonna get tore up by the Chiefs or whoever it may be because their defense. Um, I don't know. I thought their defense was better than it was, but all the rankings for it and how they looked, it was kind of rough. And the Colts, I mean, the Colts look pretty solid.
yeah, they might be like this. One of these teams is going to win the division. The
Mm-hmm.
wild card is a huge race in the AFC. Like, there's so many teams that are in it. I think I looked. There's like five or six teams fighting for three spots.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting to see how that finishes out. But like I said, someone got to win the division though. So, and we know it's not going to be the Jaguars or the Texans. So
Hell no.
um, that's simple. But bouncing off that,
If
segue to
yep.
Texans and Browns. So Texans obviously they're not winning the division. The Browns, they're one of the teams that are fighting for that wild card. They're now 6-3. It this game, Cleveland. This is another game they had bad weather. The game actually got postponed because of the weather. There was some lightning, but the wind was crazy again. So teams aren't going to pass a lot. So this was another low-scoring game, 10-7. Last week it was I think 16-6 or something like that for the Raiders
Yeah.
against them. But Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt both rushed for over 100 yards.
Yeah.
There's literally no passing in this game, very little. So the Brown, I mean, they needed this win to stay in the wild card race, really.
Yeah, dude. And I like games like this. Like I know a lot of people talk about wanting domes over all the stadiums. I'm like, no, dude, that's the fun of the NFL. Well, I mean, we'll talk about the Patriots Ravens, which it was pouring
Oh,
and this one was snowing and stuff. I'm like, I love the elements coming in and it changes up the game. Like you don't know week to week. That makes it fun. Um, Browns, yeah, they got. I mean, both those running backs would start on every single team probably in the NFL. And they have two. Um,
yeah,
I still don't really believe in the Browns to get the wild card spot. Really, I mean, losing Odell's big, and I don't trust Baker that much. But who knows? I mean, they've put together a few good wins, surprisingly.
yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see their schedule moving forward and how they finish out the year. But like you said, I don't know if they get the one of the wild cards. If anything, that'd be the third one. I
Yeah.
don't see them
Oh
like
yeah. Wait,
solidifying
there's a third
themselves.
one. Oh, I
Yeah,
forgot.
there's three wild cards this
Oh,
year.
dude. Okay, then never
Yeah,
mind.
it's crazy. It's crazy. It's so much different. But yeah, they could possibly fight for it. You never
It's
know.
used to
It was
two.
crazy too because Nick Chubb he breaks free at the
Oh
end of the
yeah.
game and he could have scored and he ran out of bounds. If I had him in fantasy, I'd be so mad.
I would have been hurt.
He had a touchdown earlier, but that was one he could have just taken in because they would have been a two possession game.
Yeah,
But you seen the Todd Gurley one not work out for them.
dude, that was so bad.
But that was different because it was a one possession. So Nick Chubb,
Yeah,
your fantasy owners hate you, but your team loves you. So
he's a good guy. Yeah.
yeah. Next up, Washington and Detroit. You're looking at this, you're like, I don't care about this. But Washington, if they win this game, they're right there in the division.
Dude, it is
They're
so
right
bad.
there in the division if they win this game. But they go down early, 24-3, and they come back. And I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised they came back because I'm like, Alex Smith. Obviously, he had that big injury. I'm just like, at this point, he's not leading a comeback. And he leads the comeback. They tie it up with 16 seconds left. And the rookie Chase Young makes a huge mistake. You're thinking there's no way that the Lions get a field goal.
Mhm.
And then I think the Stafford threw an incompletion. There's probably I think 8 seconds. There was like 8 seconds left or something like
Mhm.
that. Might have been 6. But then Chase Young got the unnecessary roughness or roughing the passer or whatever. So they get 15 yards. They're close to field goal range. They just throw a little quick pass to Marvin Jones. He goes down, and then Prater knocks in a 59-yarder for the win. I gotta say, Prater's one of the best when it comes to long game winning
Dude,
field goals. Man, he
he's
be
so
knocking them
good.
in. He be
Yeah.
knocking them in.
Alex Smith threw for like almost 400 yards or something. I was like, what is happening right now? I don't know what's going on. And one thing I will say about the Lions is DeAndre Swift, that running back, he looks really
Yeah,
good.
he looked
And
good.
he started the year rough. I remember he dropped that one potential game winner. I dropped him in fantasy, and then he started going off ever since I dropped him. So I'm pretty upset. But he looks really good. I mean, the Lions need that. They go through so much turmoil and just being doo doo. So
Being one
um,
of the mediocre teams, so
yeah,
like always.
but that
But
was a weirdly good game.
yeah, it was. It was surprisingly. And Washington, like they said, they still could win the division,
Dude,
and
that's so sad.
but I don't know. That division's so bad, man. Next game, Bucks Panthers.
Dear God.
I mean, all right, McCaffrey got injured at the end of last game. He's not playing this game, and the Bucks just destroy the Panthers.
It was
Panthers
bad.
couldn't stop them. Um, yeah, I don't like the Bucks win. Like they're one of those inconsistent teams, but they always say Tom Brady doesn't have 2 bad games in a row, and he just comes in and he's hitting everyone. Gronk, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. Mike Evans had a crazy catch in the back of the end zone for a
Yeah.
touchdown. That I didn't know how he hung on to it because the dude was like about to knock it out of his hand and he just couldn't.
Yeah.
Um, believe Gronk had a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Ronald Jones broke for a 98-yard touchdown, which was
That was
crazy.
wild.
But I mean, there's no way someone can't catch Ronald Jones. You're thinking, right? But he broke free. He was gone.
Dude, it's wild because, I mean, say whatever you want about Antonio Brown, but he's still a really good receiver.
Yeah,
And it's crazy that he comes in and I don't even notice him because their first two options are obviously Godwin and Mike Evans. And it's like, oh, yeah, our third option is Antonio Brown. You're like, dear
then you
God,
got
who's going to
Gronk.
stop this? And then Gronk, yeah, Cameron Brate, their other tight end,
Yeah, I think
solid.
he got a touchdown.
Yeah.
They still have Howard. Like
Wait,
it's
is
crazy.
Howard hurt? I feel like I
I
haven't
don't
seen
know.
him as much.
I haven't seen him.
He
I feel
might
like
be
I haven't
hurt
seen him.
then because he's good. I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
good. He was a first round pick.
Yeah.
First or second, I believe it was first though.
But this may be the Bucks to take with, I mean, we'll talk about it, the Drew Brees injury. Then the
Yeah.
Bucks are clicking at the right time. So
Mhm. Um, Next up, back to the NFC East, Eagles Giants. What a game, man!
what a
This is
game.
the
What do you
best.
mean?
This is the best division in football.
You're right, dude. It's the most dramatic and just terrible. It's so bad. I was reading an article about like if the every NFC East team loses all the games. I don't remember. It was something, but
That
the
they don't play
record.
each other.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like
like
it's gonna be like the worst record ever for a playoff team.
it's
I'm
gonna
like,
be like 5-11 or 6-10
yeah,
or something like
it's
that.
gonna be wild. So
Yeah. And in this game, I tweeted out. I said the Giants are running Daniel Jones like he's Lamar Jackson because he broke free for a 34-yard touchdown run, and then the next drive, they're down on the goal line and they call 2 quarterback runs back to back. And I'm thinking like he's about to like get drilled or something. He just like a juke or a spin or something and like barely avoids getting drilled. I'm like, this man's not Lamar Jackson.
Dude, I don't know. It's like Gumby trying to run the ball. I don't know if they just like underestimate him because like there's no way he's about to juke me. But that man was gliding across the field. I was like,
Yeah.
if somebody don't hit him, what is going on?
Yeah, I don't know. He led the team in rushing yards.
It's terrible.
Last time they played the Eagles was when he had that 80-yard run and he fell over, so he
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
fall over this time when he scored. But
I forgot about
uh,
that.
yeah, but the Giants win. They could win the division. Anyone can win this division. The Eagles, this was a game where they could have like got ahead because the Washington lost.
Yeah,
They could have
dude.
got. I think it would have been like 2 games ahead, but the Giants win, and now I think the Giants are right there in the division, and they're only I think a game or a game and a half behind, and Washington's only a game or a game and a half behind, and the Cowboys are a game and a game and a half behind. So
It's
who
so
knows,
bad.
man?
Yeah.
Who who knows? But next game, Jags and Packers. This was a surprisingly the Jags were in the game.
Yeah.
They had a fourth quarter lead at one point, but Aaron Rodgers, they end up getting it done. Devontae Adams actually didn't have as I mean, he still scored and he still had a decent amount of yards, but he
Hmm.
didn't have 20 catches, 3,000 yards, and 4 touchdown game. So,
Yeah.
um, but the other receiver, Valen, I don't know how to pronounce his
Yeah. I
name,
don't.
but
I don't. I know you're talking about. He's like
Matthew, number
83 or something.
83, yeah, number
Yeah.
83, he caught a bomb again.
Hmm.
He had a really good game, and Aaron Rodgers threw over 300 yards, but this was kind of surprising because you want to think the Packers are legit, and they just come out and barely beat the Jags.
Yeah, I think it was like how the Steelers played the Cowboys last week. They just thought maybe it was a blow off game, and the Jags caught them slipping because there is no way the Jags are even close to that. The Packers should have shredded them, but I mean they're still gonna win the NFC North. They're gonna go to the playoffs. I'm not worried about it. But for the Jags, yeah, I mean we'll see what they do with the quarterback situation. I mean, everybody was
I
all over
like,
Minshew, but this new dude's
yeah,
Lutton
I
is
kind
their
of Lutton, yeah, I kind
yeah.
of like him.
I
Like,
think he's solid. Yeah.
yeah, like I'm not saying like he's their franchise quarterback or something like that, but for a rookie who's just coming in that situation, it's kind of like he's out there, he just looks comfortable.
For
I'll say
sure.
like he doesn't look like scared, like, oh, I'm a backup. I need to dump it off every time. Like he'll make some throws and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, um, they're still, I don't know what's up with the Jags, man, but
I don't know,
they're the
dude.
Jaguars. Next up, the game of the week though, Bills Cardinals.
Yeah.
We said it coming in. There's going to be a really good game. Last week you had what was it? Bills and Seahawks.
Yeah. Cardinals,
And then now
Dolphins.
and Cardinals Dolphins. Now you got Bills Cardinals.
Hmm.
Um, and the thing going over the internet, man, Hopkins catches a Hail Mary. You're the Bills, you're thinking you win the game. Kyler Murray scrambles, throws a bomb, and Hopkins catches it over 3 people. Mossed them, whatever you want to call it, jump ball, can't guard me, and that's like me in flag football. But
Oh, okay.
anyways, to
I was
keep it
like, Kyler,
pushing,
what happened? Did you not hear me?
yeah. No, I didn't hear you.
Wow,
But
dude.
anyways, yeah. So that was the crazy catch, man. That was a crazy throw too. I think the throw doesn't get
That was a
enough credit. Like he
laser.
was going to the baseline or not baseline down, talking basketball sideline, um, and he just stops and just throws a missile
It was
right
like
to Hopkins.
perfect.
It was a perfect throw. The Bills, that one stings for them. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because
But
Stephon Diggs, they literally just made a touchdown to go up with like
yeah,
30 seconds to go or something. They made a damn good play.
yeah, and Kyler all game was just scrambling.
Dude, he's
I,
so quick.
he's
It's
so yeah, quick,
ridiculous.
fast, whatever you want to call it, man. He be moving. I'm like, what? Like, there's no one catching him. You think
Bro.
like people like he made like Lamar just kind of bigger, so he doesn't look like as explosive. But Kyler's
Yeah.
explosive. It's like Russell Wilson, but more explosive. Like it's crazy. Um, but
Poor Texans.
that's a
That's all
big,
I think about.
huh?
I just think about poor Texans is all I think about.
Oh,
Now
because
that
of
DeAndre
Hopkins.
Hopkins
Yeah.
has a good QB, a great QB, he's the best wide receiver in the league for sure.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to do Deshaun Watson like that. He was still putting up numbers with them,
Yo,
man.
okay, no, I know, but he doesn't have Bill O'Brien anymore as the coach. But
Yeah.
Kyler's
Uh,
for sure better than Deshaun, I think.
yeah, no, he is. But next game, Chargers and Dolphins. The Dolphins are legit. They're 6-3. Tua hasn't lost a game. I mean, they were doing pretty good with Fitzpatrick.
Yeah,
They were competitive. Their defense is legit.
and
Their
their
special
special
teams,
teams.
they're
What the?
blocking punts and stuff. And they handle the Chargers pretty well. The Chargers. This is two rookie quarterbacks, Herbert versus Tua.
Mm-hmm.
Tua looked solid, like he's making plays and stuff. He's not gonna be a consistent 300 yards plus quarterback or nothing like that, but he makes plays. Um, so far he's done a pretty good job taking care of the ball. So
Dude, he's
the
so
Dolphins are
accurate.
legit.
He
Yeah,
throws
exactly.
darts, and it's
Yeah,
so weird seeing a lefty. It looks
yeah, it
so
is.
weird. It looks so good. I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. But
Yeah, he's scrambling and stuff. Like,
yeah, Tua looks good because that first
yeah,
game, everybody was like, okay, they got the win and stuff, but he didn't even throw 100 yards. But the last two, I mean, he's proved himself as being their franchise QB, I think.
yeah, definitely. And the Chargers, I mean, their running back situation's all bad. I mean, everyone they love Herbert, but it just it's not good. It's
I don't
not good.
even know. I think as much I love Anthony Lynn, their coach, but I don't know that a lot of that comes down to coaching. Cause they have a talented team. They have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. I know their running back
Yeah,
situation's bad, but solid
yeah. Hopefully
defense.
Eckler comes back soon.
Yeah, they need something because they have like two or three hurt running backs. That's crazy. That's sad.
Yeah, yeah. But keeping it in the AFC West, this is the game. This is my game of the week. Broncos, Raiders.
That's a
Um,
fun one.
yeah, and the Raiders just dominated the Broncos.
Like everyone
The defense looked good for once. We
did,
got
yeah.
4 interceptions.
Jeff Heath.
He was out there making plays, man. He was out there making plays.
Looking like Troy Polamalu. I was like, what's going on?
He was out there making plays, man. But the Raiders look good. The Raiders look good. I mean, it's against the Broncos. Josh Jacobs got over 100 yards again because he's been struggling with rushing yards, and he had 2 TDs though. But rushing yards, he's been low besides the last 2 weeks. And it's crazy because it's still like passing wise, you never know who's gonna like. They
I
just kind of
know,
give it to
dude.
everyone. Like Hunter
Yeah.
Renfrow.
I was like, what the?
Um,
Who is this dude?
I liked a little slot from Clemson. You know what I'm saying?
No, I know. I liked
Little
him. He
gritty.
was dope, and him and Remy and Ratatouille. He was the chef. No, but you're right, dude. They all over the place. I'm glad Ruggs is back because I know
Brawler,
he was injured
Ruggs,
a
yeah.
little bit, but I think Ruggs is good, dude. People doubted John Gruden a lot. I feel like, and
I
he
did.
was.
I was one of them.
I was too, 100%, and it's looking like he kind of knew what he was doing.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird team still
Mm,
because it's like you're not sure how good they are. Like, because like defensive wise, like you're like, who do they have on their defense?
for sure.
Like,
I
you're not like,
don't even know.
oh, like you lose Mac and you're like, who? But like,
Jeffy?
um, huh?
I
Yeah,
said Jeffy.
I mean, Lamarcus Joyner, is like probably the
Mm.
biggest name on the team. But like the DNs and stuff, like Crosby and the dude from Clemson, like
Yeah,
Felon or
that's what I
something
was
like
about
that.
to
They're
ask. Yeah, the
like
dude from Clemson.
yeah, like they're like top rated DNs on the team, but like they're not
Don't
household names. Like,
exactly.
I mean, so it's like the defense has been all right. I also give them that. Next game though, Seahawks Rams. This is a big game for the Rams. Wild card wise, division wise, the division there's 3 teams at 6-3: Cardinals, Rams, and Seahawks.
Yeah,
And I'm not Russ's MVP is over. It's
yeah.
over.
He's
Now
been struggling
I think the first 6 or 7 weeks, he was like, no, Russ is the MVP.
by
It's
far.
done. It's done. Like it's over. Mahomes, Rogers don't matter. Josh Allen doesn't matter. Kyler doesn't matter. Like it's Russ. And now it's like there's no chances, Russ. Like he had no touchdowns, 2 picks.
Couple
Metcalf,
fumbles.
couple fumbles. Metcalf didn't do anything all
Got
game,
locked up, man.
struggling, got locked up. Tyler Lockett really didn't get going. Um, and the Rams look pretty good.
Yeah,
Jared Goff
dude.
had
I
over 300 yards.
I told you, I texted you that. I just texted you on the wrong day. I should have texted that a couple weeks out. Bro, but that's what's crazy about the NFC East. I mean, not the East, God no,
West.
West. Is it's weird. The Rams will go out and get like mollywopped by the Dolphins, and then they'll come in and that was a pretty like the what's the word, decisive win.
Yeah,
And they looked good. Yeah, I mean, I think the Rams are built for the playoffs. They have good on offense and defense, but yeah, that one was on Russ because their defense did their part. Usually they've been getting shredded,
yeah,
but the defense did all they could. And it's I don't know, it's surprising. You don't really see those games too often out of Russ, but I agree, he's out of the MVP. I think it's Rodgers, Kyler, and Mahomes at this point.
yeah. And you can maybe throw Josh Allen in there.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah, you could.
um, but yeah, with that division too, you might see 3 out of the 4 teams make playoffs with the new wild card stuff.
That'd be wild.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
No pun
But you know,
intended.
no pun intended. Yeah, it's definitely a good division. But moving forward, we got the Bengals Steelers. I'm not gonna lie, there's not much talk here. Steelers are
Nope.
undefeated, and Ben Roethlisberger had a great game. Threw over 300 yards and I believe 4 touchdowns. And they played the Bengals.
Yeah. My wife made a comment during the game. She's like, they're always so happy and hype, like the Steelers. I'm like, that's just the
Yeah,
mojo you get being good.
yeah,
Like they literally every single play you
yeah.
making good plays. You just
You
can
got a
sense it.
swagger. Yeah, you got
Exactly.
a swagger.
Yeah.
You're feeling good. Yeah, I mean that's about it. The Bengals. I mean, better luck next year. Get another pick. Get Burrow some help and keep it pushing.
Yeah. But I do like Burrow. Are you do you?
Yeah, I like Burrow. I like
Okay.
Burrow. I think Burrow's good, and I like T Higgins. He had a good game.
Dude, he's
The
a
receiver,
monster, yeah.
I like him. He's good. He's a good like he's gonna replace AJ Green. Obviously, AJ Green
Yeah,
is pretty much done. He's had injuries. He's come back. He has injuries. He's getting up there in age. So
for sure.
it's tough to see because like I remember at one point it was him and Julio,
Yeah,
the top receivers in the league, and
100%.
he just always had injuries. Speaking of injuries, I'm kind of good at getting these segues. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay,
but
okay.
speaking of injuries,
Speaking of
Niners,
sadness, Jesus.
injuries, Niners, Saints, Niners, a lot of injuries. Saints, Drew Brees gets hurt. He doesn't play the second half. The Saints handle this game. Obviously, Niners have so many injuries. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's bad.
Um, I don't even know who's out there anymore for them
Hmm.
playing. I'm about to go to one of their practices and try out to play tight end. Um,
It might be a lock, dude. They need all the help they can get, man.
yeah. But the Saints, you see Jameis, famous Jameis come in the game. He's looking good. I seen him warming up. His warm ups were hilarious. Out there, I don't know what he was doing,
I
man.
don't know, man.
That
He
might
was,
have been that might have been worse than the Dak warm up, man.
bro, his whole happy feet.
It was all bad.
Yeah.
But the Saints handled the win. I don't know how long Drew Brees is gonna be out. It's heard it's his ribs and something else. Like
And
it's all bad.
a collapsed lung, dude. That sounds
Yeah,
serious. That
yeah.
sounds
Like
terrible.
he might be out for a while. But the thing is, Jameis is a good backup. As
Oh,
much
absolutely.
as much as people will say, how 30 picks, 30 touchdowns,
The
whatever.
old
Like
30 for 30. Yeah.
you'll be happy with him as your backup. Any team will
Oh,
be.
a hundred
Um,
percent.
and they're actually in first for the division by half a game,
Yeah.
and this is going to be a good. Like I think both the Bucks and the Saints make the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously you want that division. And I don't know. It's gonna be fun to see how the Saints. Michael Thomas has been back, but he hasn't really produced.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll start producing more with Jameis in there instead of Breeze. I'm not gonna lie.
For
He'll
sure.
probably take more chances. And Drew Brees. I mean, Drew Brees. I think this should be his last year.
I hope it is, man. He just looks, yeah, old. I mean, like physically you can tell he's old. Even though he's one of the greats, I think he needs to for sure hang it up this year. But I mean, it's everybody knows, but it kind of reminds us of last year whenever Bridgewater took over for 5 games that
Yeah,
stretch, and I think Winston just needs to kind of steady the ship and try to get them a couple wins. And but I don't know for Drew. He's had a lot of injuries. I know they're saying his shoulders kind of. So like, I don't know who we may even see Winston in the playoffs.
yeah.
But then again, that's also not a bad backup situation to have. So
He'll go out there, he'll take chances, hope for the best, man.
because they have a good defense and the rest of the team around him, so he kind of can afford to do that. It's not
Yeah,
like they have a bad defense.
Kamara had 3
It's
touchdowns.
ridiculous. Yeah.
I think Michael Thomas is still a really good receiver. They got
Oh, for
Emmanuel
sure.
Sanders, Jared Cooks a solid tight end. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, yeah, they got weapons. They got um a solid defense, like you said.
Yeah.
Moving forward, Sunday night football, Ravens, Patriots. Crazy weather game.
Dear
I
God.
seen I seen a tweet and it was like Lamar Jackson trying to drive the team down the field, and it's like him like some dude like just holding up like a cross or something
Like
in like
part the
this
Red
crazy
Sea.
war. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it
But
was terrible.
but the Patriots come out on top versus the Ravens. What do you think?
What I think is one, the Ravens running defense was terrible that game. As much praise as their defense gets,
Mhm.
I don't know. That one's not as much on Lamar. There was a lot of fumbled snaps. I think the center was credited for like 2 or 3 fumbles. It was bad, which is understandable. It's pouring, but it's weird. That should have been a game the Ravens win. They're built to run the ball and not pass. And obviously, in the rain, you're going to try to run more and not pass. And I don't know. They just
Yeah,
collapse. I don't know. It's weird.
yeah, it's weird because I don't know. The Ravens, like, I'm worried about the Ravens because
Super worried.
the last couple games, I feel like you just see them getting that run formation, and they're like, okay, we're running the ball, and you know they're running the ball, whether it's Lamar, whether it's one of their backs, whatever, and you just know it's coming.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't. I don't know. Like I'm not sold on Lamar throwing the football anymore. Like I don't know. Like
It,
it does.
there's yeah.
It go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say all of his good runs too are him like scrambling, trying to run 2 yards this way, and I'm like, dude, that's only gonna last so long. As much as I love Lamar, and I still think he's a Pro Bowl QB. I don't know if it's the system needing a little bit more changing. They need another good receiver. I don't know, but I'm with you. It doesn't look good. Like in playoffs, that's not gonna cut it. They play the Steelers, they're gonna get
Yeah.
blown out.
Yeah. And he struggled in the playoffs in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and um the crazy thing is coming in a year like they talked about how Lamar's going to throw more and not
Yeah,
run more, and he's led the team in carries the last few weeks. I think every time I look, I'm like, oh, Lamar Jackson has the most carries on the team every
yeah,
time. So it's like obviously they tried it I think at the beginning of the year and didn't work, and they're like, all right, well we need to win games. And now there's no chance I think they win the division. They'll be a
no,
wild card team. You said their defense is really good, and maybe it is they need another weapon, but I just think Lamar when he drops back, it doesn't look like a Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Kyler, Russell, whoever, like these top quarterbacks. It doesn't look the same. Like they look confident, like making throws. You're like when he throws it, you're like, oh, like any of those quarterbacks they throw it, you're like, okay, like you're thinking it's completion. Lamar, you're like, you like hold your breath almost like,
yeah.
please be a completion. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It just
No,
doesn't look the
I
same.
agree. I agree.
And the final game. Oh, and another thing, give credit to the Patriots. They're 4-5 now. They're
Yeah,
fighting.
it's like the weirdest 4-5 ever though. Like games they look like the worst team in the league, and then last night they looked like a solid team. I don't know. It's
Or
really
like,
weird.
yeah, or early on versus the Seahawks and stuff. So
Yeah,
give credit to them, 4-5. Cam's out here fighting for, his career pretty much. So
for sure.
definitely don't want to take nothing away from them. But Monday Night Football, Vikings and Bears. Just, I mean, what more could you ask for, right?
Nah, dude, it's a Christmas miracle. The holidays coming up, gather around with your family and friends, man, and watch Nick Foles and Kirk Cousins duke it out, dude.
Yeah, Nick Foles had a total of 100 passing yards, and he did get hurt and knocked out the game, but I
Yeah,
don't think he was throwing for many more yards.
no,
Um, The Vikings rookie receiver Jefferson had a really good game. He had 135 yards. He has been really good. I don't think no one really talked about him like coming into the year, but he's been great. And the Vikings are now 4-5. They looked terrible at the beginning of the year, but they're 4-5 now. They've been. I think they've won like 3 straight.
Dude, they should be. They have a talented team. That's what's so confusing is they have good running back, an okay quarterback, good receivers, good defense. That's why it's so weird. I feel like their record and the Bears should be like switched. The Bears, I don't know how they are. What are they? 5-5 now?
Yeah, they're five and well,
Oh, hey.
they're 5-4. They're 5-4.
Okay, 5 and
But
4.
but that was a big game for them. The wild card. So actually, since we're at the last game, let's just quick one for like playoff picture. Like division leaders, you have the Eagles. No one's win the wild card out of there. The NFC West, it's Cardinals, Rams, and Seahawks all tied at 6-3. So right
Yeah.
now you're saying like two of those would be if it ended today, two of those would be in the wild card. Packers winning the NFC North 7-2, and then right now the NFC South, the Saints would are 7-2, and the Bucks 7-3 would be the wild card. So the Bears they're falling behind. Um, I think to be honest, I don't think they get back in it. I think it's going to be Bucks, Rams, Cardinals, Seahawks, two of those combination in the wild card. I think it's pretty legit. I don't think the Bears or even like say the Vikings make a comeback for that.
Dude, the NFC is besides the NFC East, it's stacked. Like the wild card teams even are like
Yeah, they're really good team.
contenders. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's the opposite of the AFC West
Yeah.
because the way AFC West has a lot more teams that could win the wild card
Mhm.
like that are fighting for right now. The NFC is like okay, these are the playoff teams. Like
Yeah.
you don't think that Bears may come back. The AFC or AFC is right now say the Bills AFC East 7-3, West Chiefs 8-1. They're probably gonna win it. Steelers 9-0, gonna win the AFC North, and then AFC South it's either Titans or Colts.
Hmm.
So wild card you have one of them that are gonna be in it
Yeah.
or that are fighting for it.
Hmm.
Whoever doesn't win the division, Ravens and Browns both fighting for it. Raiders fighting for it, and then the Dolphins. So you got like what's that? One, two, three, four, 5 teams fighting for 3 spots
For 3 spots, yeah.
that are all 6-3 and above. And then the NFC, the next, the fourth team is only 5-4. So big
Yeah.
difference.
No, it
And
is.
and the difference too, like when you see the wild card in the NFC, you're like Bucks, Cardinals, Seahawks,
Rams,
uh,
yeah.
Rams, and the other team. I don't remember what it was, but they're all like playoff like contenders. Like you like okay, they
Oh
have a
yeah.
chance. Like when you look at the AFC, like let's be honest, the Browns, if they a wild card, you're like
Dolphins, no.
Colts, Dolphins, you're like nah. Raiders, like you're probably not like like you're not like you're not
Ah.
you're not worried about them. You're not worried about like if you're the Chiefs or the Steelers or even like the Bills maybe, but like you're not too worried about them.
No.
But like if you play the Seahawks, you're worried about them as a wild card team. So that's a big
Yeah.
difference moving forward.
I like the 3 wild card spots, man. That
Me
makes it
too.
fun. I think that's dope.
And it makes it tougher. The only one team gets the first round bye. So
Hmm.
I like that because now usually there's a team or two that know they're gonna get a bye. So they're like, okay, we're not playing people week 17 or even sometimes week 16. Now it's like we need the one to get that bye. So like even if you could be 13-3, but if there's a or not say 13-2, but
Hmm.
there's another 13-2 team, then you gotta play your guys that last week to get that bye. So
I didn't even think about that part. That it's higher stakes and it means more to be the best team in that division. So yeah, no,
yeah,
I like our conference. I like that a lot.
yeah. And lastly, let's move on to next week.
Yep.
So starting off early, talking about the playoffs, Cardinals Seahawks. That's a big game.
Mm.
Thursday night football. Um,
Oh, that's Thursday night football.
that's Thursday night football,
Nice.
and uh, I don't know. It's gonna be fun. Russell Wilson versus Kyler, and you got Tyler Lockett right now is day to day. I guess he like
Yeah.
hurt his knee in the game, so
Yikes.
Thursday night that doesn't help. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's a chance he doesn't play, but that's definitely one of the games of the week. I think it's definitely going to be interesting to see if Russell Wilson can get back going. and the Cardinals could pick up momentum off that Hail Mary win. I think that'd be huge for them.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, the Seahawks are coming off a terrible loss, and the Cardinals are coming off a really good win. So we'll see who responds and keeps it going, or um, gets back in a rhythm, because the Seahawks, they need to, before the playoffs, they got to figure out more of who they are, because how they played last game, they're gonna get waxed in the playoffs.
Yeah. And then another big game. I have marked like 5 games, but another
Mm-hmm.
one, Titans Ravens.
Yeah.
Um, could be a wild card game right here. Titans or Ravens, they're both fighting for the wild card, so could be big. This is big for the Titans for their division because they don't want the Colts to, get a lead on them. So it'll be interesting to see. This is kind of two, I wouldn't say like super similar teams, but like, they want to run the football, both
For
teams
sure.
pretty much. You know what I mean? So this should be a really good game. It's not like your flashy game probably, but it could be a wild card game. And who you think comes out on top?
I think the Titans win it, man.
The
I don't,
Titans.
I don't,
You're saying
dude,
the Ravens drop like
dude.
two or three in a row?
I think they might. They don't look good, and the Titans are a lot more well balanced than them.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think the Titans win it.
All right, Titans. Yeah, I'll probably say Titans too. It's in Baltimore though, so maybe the Ravens can get some swagger back, man.
We'll see.
Um, Next game that I have as a good game, Packers Colts.
Yeah,
Um, Two teams that might be playoff teams, and like I said about the Titans, this is a big game for the Colts because you don't want to go down a game in the division, and that wild card's going to be tough. So, and it'll be cool. It'll be good to see if the Colts are legit versus a
mm-hmm.
team like the Packers, and if the Packers can, they struggle. I wouldn't say struggle, but they didn't look good versus the Jaguars. Um,
Yeah,
so that that could be an interesting game. I think the Packers probably come out on top. But if the Colts win, that's big for them. That shows like they're legit. They're a legit team.
yeah. Actually, I think the Colts are gonna win. I think, um, yeah, they're just a really solid team. I mean, even looking at their rankings for defense, they're like top 5 in the league on defense. So that's really surprising.
Yeah.
And then they have a pretty good offense,
Yep.
um, and given how the Packers looked last week, again, I know they probably played down the competition, but I think the Colts will catch them.
Yeah. The Colts defense, like you said, is really underrated because like
Yeah.
it's kind of like obviously it's like the Raiders in a sense. Like
Oh
the
no.
Raiders defense isn't as good, but
Oh,
like
okay.
there's not like a bunch of big names on their defense.
Yeah,
It's kind
that's
of
true.
like
Yeah,
just the like players that are like solid that are producing. Besides Leonard, obviously, who won Rookie of the Year, who's
for sure.
baller. But next up, my game of the week, Chiefs Raiders, Sunday Night Football.
I wonder why.
That's a big. It's a big game. It's
Dude,
in Vegas.
did you hear about that thing about the
Yeah,
Raiders driving around?
that's what I was about to say. I was about to say that. So this is a spicy game, and the reason why is if you guys haven't seen, apparently the Raiders after they won in Kansas City, they took their buses and just drove around Arrowhead Stadium a couple of victory laps, man. Like I don't know. I know Andy Reid said he didn't like that. That's not his type. To me, I don't like that either. To be honest, like it's a regular season game. Like you're taking victory laps. I get it. It was a big win. Like no one else has beat the Chiefs, but like
Yeah.
it's too early in the season.
What
Like
was it, like week what? What was it?
like 5 or something
Week
like that. I don't
5.
know. Like like it just doesn't like we didn't even like take the division off that. So like a playoff game, sure, like go do it. Like
Yeah.
a regular season game, week 5,
Uh,
I don't agree with that. But hey, the problem is it gives some Chiefs some fire, which I'm not happy about. You
I
don't need to
know
give
that's not
you don't
good.
need to give Mahomes any more motivation. Like you don't need that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But it's in Vegas. The Raiders, maybe they can beat
Mm.
them again. Maybe they got the answer for Mahomes in them.
Nah, dude, they're not beating them twice. They're not sweeping the series in the season. There's no way.
Get the brooms out, man. I'm calling a sweep, man. You heard it here first on Fumbles and Floaters. The Raiders will beat the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. And if if the Raiders win,
He's
Blake has
stumbling.
to tweet out. Blake has to tweet out. I am now a Raiders fan.
Dude, if the Raiders win, I will absolutely tweet that out, and I'll have a Raiders wallpaper on my Twitter for the rest of the
Yes, sir.
month. I'll have Derek Carr
Oh,
flexing.
Derek Carr flexing that down. Oh man. All right. And then Monday Night Football, the last game of the week. We got the Rams Bucks. Again,
Oh
this
wow,
right now these are two wild card games.
yeah, that should be a really good
Or
one.
wild card teams, I mean.
They're both coming
Um
off good weeks.
Good weeks. We'll see if the Bucks can keep up their momentum. Um and like I said, the Rams, they could take away the or not take away, but like be up in the division too. Like they have a chance to win the divisions. One Cardinals or Seahawks are gonna lose because they're playing each other.
Yeah,
Um so they could get a game up on one of them, which would be huge. And for the Bucks, they need to stay in pace with the Saints and really just keep their momentum going because you don't want to see them lose another game and then they kind of keep fighting. I think obviously with Tom Brady and them, I mean it's gonna be hard to get that bye, but there's a chance they could get it. So
yeah, I think it'll be a really good one. I'm interested to see how Aaron Donald affects the game. I think that's the key to it because the Bucks have so many weapons. Their secondary is not going to be able to guard them. So it's up to him to do that. And I don't know. I have a feeling the Rams are going to win this one. The Bucks have just been too up and down.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I will say the Rams, they did a really good job with Lockett and Metcalf. But
they
at the same
did.
time, you got the third, fourth, fifth option. So we'll see if they can take away their weapons again. And we've seen it with the Bucks, like the Saints, like they took. I mean, they don't have Lattimore, but the Saints took out Mike Evans. So if like the Rams could do the same thing, they could win. I could see the Rams winning this game.
Mm-hmm. Good too.
But that's it for
Is that all
we're
the
done.
games?
That's all the games. The primetime games are good this week. Like I said,
They're
Cardinals,
really good.
Seahawks Thursday, Raiders, Chiefs Sunday night football, and Monday night Rams, Bucks. Like those are all good games.
Yeah, dude, that's as good as it's gonna get because this past week was not great on primetime games. So I'm glad to have some good primetime games. Oh, I know, dude. I
The
know,
Vikings and the Bears.
bro.
I
I
did.
know you were excited about Allen Robinson running with Eric Kendricks, but I was not. It was a nightmare. But yeah. So yeah, we'll be back again next week, going over this week. Hopefully, it's good games, and we'll get some more NBA content out there.
Yep, and that's it. And Blake will have a Raiders wallpaper as his Twitter avi next week.
And if the Cowboys win, who the Cowboys play?
See, that's it's actually not. It's not on the schedule.
Dude, if the
They're
Cowboys
playing the Vikings.
really, okay, that's winnable. If the Cowboys win, you have to tweet at Ezekiel Elliott and ask him if he wants to have a sleepover.
What? There's no way.
Bro, you say you bring
I'll,
the
I'll,
movies, I'll bring the soda or something. I don't know. I'll bring the popcorn. No, just
I'll put a Zeke wallpaper
okay, yeah, we'll do that.
or Dak, whatever one you want.
Dak, dude. Dak
All right, we'll go
strong.
Dak. We'll go Dak.
All right. Peace.